Welcome back, yet again adventurers, to Let's Play Steins Gate Zero. In the last episode, we learned that Daru and Maho had managed to improve the time leap technology, and they managed to keep it intact for an incredibly long time. And now we've finally put it to good use. As a result, we have leapt back in time from 2036 all the way back to 2011 for a consecutive 3,000 time leaps. Let's next time let's up the ante and see if we can't break the 10,000 mark there, Rintaro, in the future. But now that we're back in the present, so to speak, we have, we have things to do, important things to do, things without which we cannot possibly even hope to save the future. I've gone back through so many years. I've done thousands of time leaps. Gone through the war. I'd almost died. I thought of giving up a bunch of times. But each time I'd remembered it all. That ruined world. That pile of corpses. Also, you may have caught a glimpse of it. I didn't really show it off too well. But there was some sort of weird object in the building that Rintaro was staring at, the one that just happened to have the pack of dogs hiding beneath it, devouring human corpses. There was that red-shaped object that kind of looked like a satellite, a broken satellite at that. But, it didn't look like the same satellite shape as Suzuha's time machine. And I bring that up because I think that's what that object was. I think that object was in fact a time machine of sorts. I wonder. The screams, the shouting, the dripping blood, and Daru and Maho and how they sent me off. After a long, unimaginably long time, I'd finally made it back to this time. And we're back to being 18 years old again instead of in our mid-40s.
Ukari? 何か良くない知らせでもあったの?
Bad news doesn't even begin to describe it, Mayushi. But let's just say that we finally have an idea as to what Suzuha was actually talking about.
電話に出てからなんだかぼーっとしてるから。
In other words, we finally understand the very future that Suzuha Mane was trying to help get us to avoid in the first place.
いや、そうじゃない。そういうわけじゃないんだ。
We've avoided it, turned our eyes away from it, and buried ourselves in the present for so long, but now fate has found us. And we have no choice but to face it head on. Mayuri was here.
もしかしてまだお正月の気分が抜けないのかにゃ?
And of course Ferris's, and right. It's Ferris was here. I thought New Year's was 30 days ago.
しっかりしてくれよな。
And there's Daru. Yeah. When you see the man who will eventually become, present-day Daru kind of seems like a minor bit of a letdown, but he's still reliable. And last, but by no means least, Rukiko, the one who died in 2036, and Suzuha, and Maho Hyajo and Kaguri Shina. They were here too.
もしかして、この前の疲れが出ちゃったかしら。
Maho, if we pull off what we're about to do, I think we're going to need a very, very long nap.
この前
Indeed, we're going to probably sleep away the next 25 years.
ほら、この前アマデウスのサンプル用に記憶データを取ったでしょ？
Yeah. Somehow they have samples of Rintaro's memories for the Amadeus system, of which Rintaro obviously has absolutely no recollection of whatsoever. Oh right. Daru had mentioned that. He said it was at the end of January, but we never made it to the end of January, because I believe we were still on the 15th.
いやそうじゃないんだちょっとな
And anyway, on various other world lines, I don't think Rintaro ever donated his memories to Amadeus. Ever. So why this world line? But Maho seems to recognize that something's wrong, as does Kaguri. Of course, when we saw her in 2036, she was 10 years old. Back here in 2011, she's back to being 22 years old.
ん？なに？オカリンさん。
この時代に来てからの記憶はまだ思い出せないのか
Looks like those memories are still buried deep within her unconscious mind, unfortunately.
お、
Hate to do this, Kaguri, but at some point we're going to need you to remember.
そうか
どうしたの？いきなり。
I believe that what happened to you during those 12 years is very vital information.
なんでもないただ少し確かめただけだ
But now we have more immediate concerns.
何それ？変なオカリンさん。
Since I'd come from the future, I knew. In this world line, Kurusu's memories no longer existed inside Kaguri's head. In other words, we managed to actually save the life of Kaguri Shina.
でも私ね、別にこのままでもいいかなって思ってるんだ。だって、ここにはママもいるし、ルカ君やルミお姉ちゃんもいるし、食べ物だっていっぱいあるし、無理に思い出す必要もないんじゃないかって。
As wonderful as the present is at the moment, we probably need you to remember.
そうか
But I guess we shouldn't force the issue. Maybe that was fine for now. But the future was going to be filled with sorrow. For Mayuri, for Varys, for Rukiko, for Daru, for Suzuha, for Kaguri, and for Maho. and for everyone else. Did I really make the right choice when I decided to let Kurisu die? Well, we didn't really have a choice, because if we hadn't deleted the Dmail and CERN's Echelon database, Mayuri Shina would be dead by this point. And we didn't let her die on the Beta World line. Not at all. It seems like Rintaro is having a bit of trouble resting. Not surprising given what he's been through. After everyone had left and I was alone, all the exhaustion came crashing down on me. I time-leapt 3,000 times. I thought I'd be able to work things out in my head along the way, but I've been so desperate to return to the past that I hadn't had time. Because we were too busy jumping through it. My mind was worn down after all the time leaps. I thought I'd made my decision, but I found myself wavering again and again. I'd only managed to do it by telling myself that I had to get back before I could make any decisions. And now my head just felt so tired. What should I do now? What should I do? For now, I didn't want to think about anything. But I felt too awake to even sleep. I know how that feels. With everyone gone, the temperature in the lab quickly dropped. It was freezing. But it was nothing compared to the cold I'd felt before. That world I'd seen right after I'd erased Kurisu's memories from Kagari. Kurisu was there, Mayuri was there, everyone was there. It was a scene from that very brief peace I'd had during that summer. But that world had been so cold. And now I knew why. That was the world that I'd experienced when I was asleep, existing only as data. A world built of zeros and ones. Like being alive, even when you're dead. Or being forced to stay alive, even though you were dead. The people I loved were there, but there was no warmth. I could reach out and touch them, but there wasn't even a little bit of warmth. It was like floating in deep dark space without any light at all. And Kurisu Makase was now experiencing that too. She was all alone in a cold world without the slightest trace of warmth. So now we know how it feels to be Amadeus Kurisu, it seems. I raised my hand up under the fluorescent light. I could see the veins rising up out of it, and the red blood flowing in them. I was alive. There was warmth. But could I really say that I was alive? Now that my memories have been digitized, after being exposed to that cold world, could I still really be called human? I heard a knock at the door and turned my eyes towards it. And it's Maho, of all people. Maho is standing there.
ヒヤジョーさん帰ったんじゃなかったのか
ちょっと忘れ物をしちゃってね。
忘れ物
それよりあなたこそ一人で何をしているのかしら？
Contemplating our own existence, as always, and the fate of the future. Maho showed no signs of looking for whatever she had lost. Instead, she came right up and sat down right in front of me.
さっきもずっと難しい顔してたわよね。何か気になることでもあるの？
Indeed, it seems that Maho Hyajo does indeed possess the perception of Kurisu Makase. Maybe she'd been worried enough to come back and check on me.
私じゃクリスの代わりにはなれないかもしれないけど、それでもよければ話してみて。
Oh, trust me, in the future, you and Kurisu are definitely even Stevens as far as we're concerned. There was no need to worry about whether I could tell her or not. I needed her to make the time leap machine. And for that, she needed to hear everything. Congratulations, Maho Hyajo. If there is anyone who can reach the height of Kurisu Makase, her scientific genius and technological prowess, it is you.
嘘みたいな話だが、聞いてくれるか？
And indeed, in order to gain her trust, we need to tell her everything. We need her on our side.
Mattaku. あなたなんて人なの?
That was the first thing she'd said after I finished. Just like last time, it wasn't something that was easy for her to believe. Maho must have sensed something in the way I spoke, because she listened until I finished. She interrupted me whenever there was something she didn't understand. She was especially interested in the time machine and the time leaps. I told her everything I knew about them.
信じてくれるのか？
信じないわけにはいかないでしょ。そんな顔して語られたら。
Normally she would be skeptical. Come to think of it, Kurisu was always skeptical at first.
実際にこんなものを見せられたら。
ヒヤジョさん。
Of course, we've shown her the time machine.
それにこれで納得がいったわ。前から不思議。クリスは秋葉原に来てほとんど日を置かないまま死んでしまった。そんな彼女とあなたがそれほどに仲良くなれたということが。
Yeah, that should have been one of the first questions you'd asked yourself.
特にあの子のあの性格でしょ。そんな期間にそれも男の人と親しくなるなんてよっぽどのことがあったんじゃないかと思っていたのだけど。
Yeah, in other words, you would say that the bond between Rintaro Okabe and Kurisu Makase spans the length and breadth of time. So that was it, she whispered to herself.
それであなたは何を気にしているの？
Speaking of Kurisu, we need to liberate Amadeus Kurisu. I turned away from her.
岡部さん？
俺なんだろうか？
That's a good question.
どういうこと？
聞いただろ。今の俺の頭の中にある記憶。それは一度データとなってハードディスクの中に保管されていた記憶だ。いわば 人工記憶と言ってもいい。
You could very well call them that. Also, I really love this song, by the way. That's unique to Steins Gate Zero.
そんな俺は果たして俺自身だと言えるんだろうか。
I think for better or worse, you're still Rintaro Okabe.
生きている、そう言えるんだろうか。
There was blood running through my body. But what was in my head had been changed into zeros and ones. Didn't that make me no different than Amadeus?
なんだ、そんなことで悩んでたの？バカバカしい。
But Maho just laughed at my worries.
あなたは哲学的ゾンビって知ってる？
Come to think of it, no, but I suspect that we're going to find out as soon as I check the tips. Philosophical zombie. A thought experiment proposed by philosopher David Chalmers to explain qualia. Qualia are individual sensory experiences such as red, a sweet smell, or sweet. A philosophical zombie is someone whose external experience, internal structure, and words and actions mirror humans, but who lacks these qualia. In this case, we would be unable to distinguish between philosophical zombies and ordinary humans. So now we know. Now we know.
確か思考実験の一つだろう。姿形から行動に至るまで人間そっくりだが、意識や感情が欠乏している存在は客観的に人間と区別ができるのかどうかという。
Excuse me. I hesitated a little as I answered a sudden question.
ま、大体合っているわね。
She nodded, satisfied, like a teacher would do. Gold
じ
star
ゃあ
for
仮に
Rintaro.
ここに人間そっくりの外見をした人工知能が存在するとするわよ。
Indeed, kind of like Amadeus Kurusu.
人間と同じように振る舞い、同じように行動する。
I see where
誰
you're
かが
going
困ってい
with
れば
this.
手を差し伸ばし、悲しい時には涙する。これは決められたプロセスなのかもしれないけれど、でもそれは人間だって同じ。個人個人で定められたプロセスに従って考えて反応する。私たちはそのプロセスを意識や感情という言葉に置き換えているだけじゃないかしら。
That's a very clinical way of putting it. I thought I understood what Maho was trying to say.
つまり AI にだって感情はあると。
Indeed, such as Amadeus Kurusu.
少なくとも私たち科学者はそういうものを作り出すために日々研究を重ねているつもりよ。
Of course, current day technology is still far from perfect. She puffed out her chest with pride.
じゃあ岡部さん、あなたは感情を持った AI は人ではないと思う？
If they looked just like a person and thought just like them and had feelings too, they were a person.
いや、
でしょ？そもそも個人を個人たらしめているのは記憶よ。その人が生まれ経験したこと、感じたもの、その集合体が人間なの。だから岡部倫太郎、たとえ一度データになっていても、あなたの記憶と体を持つあなたは紛れもなく人間、岡部倫太郎よ。心配いらない。
Maho is entirely correct on this point.
いや嬢さん、
だいたいクリスの作り出したっていうそのタイムリープマシンだって記憶を一度データ化して還元するものなんでしょ？
That's very much true as well.
だったら今さら思い悩むだけ無駄だと思わない？
I suppose worrying is rather pointless considering the amount of consecutive time leaps we've made so far. That was what Daru told me in the future too. But strangely, when she said it, it made me feel better. Sorry, Daru.
こういう時クリスならもっと的確なことを言えたのかもしれないけど。
No, I think that Kurusu probably would have phrased it the exact same way.
いや、そんなことないよ。十分だ。
Indeed, your encouragement was sufficient. Maho had given her opinion as a brain scientist that I was still me. There was a strength in her words, just like there was in Kurusu's when she had driven me forward. I remembered what Maho had said before. That was when she was talking to Kaguru when she still had Kurusu's memories in her head. She'd been speaking to the memories of Kurusu inside Kaguru. Well, you can put your mind at ease, Maho. You're no longer second best. But...
ヒヤジョーさん、君はサリエリなんかじゃない。
You're not Salieri, you're not Mozart, and you're not Kurusu.
立派なアマデウスだ。
Well, technically speaking, we're not wrong because Maho does have a Amadeus counterpart. That's right. I'm here right now. I'm alive, here in this time, not in that cold sea of black data. I'm here in this time. A light came on in the darkness. My cold heart began to warm. But... Kurusu, she was still trapped inside that world. Inside that sterile, lifeless world that froze you to the depths of your soul. Even after her death, her memories were still alive. And there were all kinds of conspiracies forming around her living memories. Even after she lost her body, Kurusu's pain still continued. No, it wasn't just Kurusu. Kaguri and Suzuha, and in the future, Mayuri, Feiris, Rukugo and Daru too. Everyone was suffering, everyone was miserable, but still they tried to move forward. All I had cared about was whether Mayuri survived. I thought that even if the Third World War came, no matter what happened to the world, as long as Mayuri was happy, that was all that mattered. I tried to think that. I thought that no matter how much blood and tears awaited us in the future, as long as things were fine now, that was all that mattered. I thought I'd understood. I thought I'd understood how awful the future that Suzuha described was, and how hard Daru and Suzuha would have to fight. I thought I understood all that. Suzuha firing her gun and staining her hands with blood like it was nothing at all. Mayuri and Feiris, pale and colourless. Mukiko lying on the ground and never getting up again. Kaguri and the others, whose lives were ruined by fate. I'd seen them with my own eyes and touched them with my own hands, and then I finally understood. I've been only pretending to know, so I could run away. I told myself that I was going to die in 2025 and look at the other way. But no longer. 2025. I wasn't dead. Everyone just thought so. Everyone had been deceived. That's right, deceived. Me in the past, and everyone else in the future. The world was deceived, and possibly the world line itself too. I thought the future was settled, but a different future awaited me. Indeed, a radically different future.
シュタインズゲート世界線への道は険しい。一度や二度やり直したところでたどり着ける道ではないだろう。
That's very true.
まずはそこから始めることがシュタインズゲートへとつながるんじゃないか。11年前オカリンはそう言ってた。だからさ、僕たちがいるこの世界も無駄じゃない。きっと必要な世界なんだ。少なくとも今の僕はそう思ってる。
Those words would give Rintaro a little bit more hope than he had. I'd no way of knowing what would make me say that 14 years from now. All I knew was that 14 years from now I would know that this day was coming. So maybe I should just do what I said. If that future in 2036 was necessary, then maybe a world where Amadeus Kurusu was released from her electronic prison was necessary too. No matter how hard the path would be, I had to take the first step. And what I needed right now was that first step.
ヒアジョーさん、
何？
アメリカに帰る前にもう少し付き合ってもらえるか。
Indeed, we still need your assistance.
そうね。条件が2つあるわ。
I'm sure we might be able to fulfill those conditions.
条件？
Maybe. Possibly.
1つはこのタイムマシンを調べさせてほしいってこと。
I'll try and get Suza's permission on that one.
もう一つは？
あなたのことオカリンさんって呼ばせてもらう。あなたは私をマホって呼びなさい。
So, dropping the formalities then, I see.
悪くない条件だと思うけど。
I wonder how Amadeus Kurusu would feel about that. There was an innocent smile on her face, the likes of which I'd never seen before.
わかった。マホ。
I thought your condition would have been
よろしくオカリンさん。
was to get Daru to stop calling you Maho-tan. When she put her small hand in mine, I felt a solid warmth. Looks like we're ready to
ど
go.
うしたんだにゃオカリン。一度帰った後にわざわざ呼び出すにゃんて。
But then again, it's still rather late. So, when we return, adventurers, we'll try and put our plan into motion and take that first step. As always, until next we meet.